Did you know that Gunna went from being in an unbeatable trio of himself, Lil Baby, and Young Thug to now being blackballed in the industry with no one wanting to work with him due to snitching allegations? As with Young Thug getting released from jail, he was finally able to open up about Gunna snitching.
I just like to help people, you know.
One of those artists was Gunna. You guys did a ton of songs together.
Yeah.
Very successful on your label.
Yeah.
He was arrested about the same time as you. I think a lot of people wonder what that relationship is like now.
Yeah, I know everybody wondering that.
What's it like?
I don't know.
Where he says, quote, "I know everyone wonders that, but I don't know." But 2 days later, releasing a song titled Money on Money featuring Future, where Young Thug would rap the lyrics, "Brody, you a rat, twin, you a pack," as well as the lyrics, "These guys telling for nothing, and I gotta be the one calling them friends," ultimately revealing that he's not rocking with Gunna, who was snitching in the courtroom against him. But it's what Gunna's lawyer wrote that made fans believe that he just ruined his rap career, as today Gunna's lawyer announced, "I was Gunna's attorney, but I am not speaking on his behalf. This long post is solely to set out the truth. Gunna did not cooperate and did nothing and said nothing to affect Young Thug's case."
And you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrant and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
He spent 8 months in jail and was released in December 2022 after entering an Alford plea. Gunna's plea deal was not used in Thug's trial, and he was never even named as a witness. He received a 5-year suspended sentence with no reporting, no travel restrictions, no living restrictions, as well as no probation. Over the last 2 years, from media outlets, he has performed all over the world, achieved international fame and recognition, and earned millions of dollars. While Thug went to trial and eventually pled guilty on Nolo after spending 30 months in jail. He received 15 years probation with reporting conditions and is not even allowed to live in Atlanta. Those that have and continue to badmouth Gunna get over it, enough said. As a viral tweet would then read, "Once you'll learn the entire effects of Gunna snitching in that YSL trial, then you'll realize why Thug and Baby will never be cool with him again. Go learn," which is what ultimately ruined the rap career of Gunna, as I'll teach you all right now. On December 2022, Gunna snitched out of the YSL RICO trial. Academics tweeted, "The streets are saying Lil Baby unfollowed Gunna. Y'all think the industry is giving Gunna too much of a hard time for being a truth teller or not?" As the following day inside a court, Young Thug was seen banging his head on the table when the judge had to make the announcement of Gunna's plea deal. Rappers all took Thug's side. Durk even shared a snippet rapping the lyrics, "What happened to Virgil? He's probably gonna tell," referring to the collab song that he had with Gunna titled What Happened to Virgil. It even went as far as the biggest rat inside of the rap industry, 6ix9ine, had to say,
"He just implicated YSL being so now home, right? All the people who's locked up, like Jeffrey, like Young Thug, now he can't go with that defense. He can't go with the defense of saying, I'm a record label."
The entire rap industry could not believe it. However, things got very confusing when Young Thug's own father came out claiming that Gunna's plea deal did not affect his son.
Attorney, clarify that a little simpler. Gunna hasn't done anything whatsoever that can hurt us on this case. Period.
Courtney said, "How do you feel about Gunna?"
I love Gunna.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the relationship. They got this thing saying that Gunna is a rat and he's done this and done that.
But see, let me try to help them.
This would end up making Lil Baby very angry, and for good reason, especially with what is going on with him right now due to Gunna snitching, but more on that later. At that time, Lil Baby would then release his song titled 350, responding to Gunna snitching as well as Young Thug's father, where Lil Baby would rap the lyrics, "Ain't never said nothing about it, boy you know you a rat." Young Thug's father would then do another interview telling Lil Baby to shut up.
How do you feel about Lil Baby throwing at Gunna for his plea deal? For his plea?
He need to shut the fuck up, cause he don't know what's going on. You know, he's going off of what he heard. ask Lil Baby, have you ever came to a court date?
Oh, okay.
See, that's what I want y'all to ask these damn rappers and these bloggers with this whole snitch shit and this. When have y'all went to a court date to support Slime, to support Jeffrey, to support Thug, however you want to name it? Go on their social media pages and say, why in the haven't you been at the courthouse to support your dude? And I guarantee you won't get an answer.
How do you feel about Lil Baby throwing?
While everyone was confused whether or not Gunna actually snitched, Charleston White would then confirm it, saying after reading the court files, he actually admires Gunna for snitching to get out of this case.
Gunna is out of prison. I never thought I would be happy to say y'all, Gunna is out of prison. Now, I'm glad he got out by telling. I think that was smart, Gunna. I'm a Gunna fan now. I'm gonna tell.
Charleston even said that he would do the exact same thing during an Instagram Live.
I'm always willing to bet with any rapper, if they keep Young Thug locked up 6 more months in the conditions he in, he'll tell to get out of jail too. They keep him 6 more months, he'll tell to get out of jail too.
However, Charleston White would then give his serious thoughts on the situation, as he would then be featured in a Say Cheese TV interview where he had to say,
I wouldn't say what Gunna did was a snitch, because Gunna's not a he made a confession.
But it would then be this moment when Gunna would finally speak out. He would release his song titled Bread and Butter, where in the lyrics, he revealed all of the truth that all Lil Baby does is hang out with snitches. Gunna would begin the song rapping the lyrics, everyone speaking on my name could have some real problems, we are not the same, ain't in my lane, I got my own column. Peepin' stuff, I'm seeing brothers fall back, your brother got me as the topic of the chat, you switched on me when you know that you're in business with a rat. These lyrics are a diss towards Lil Baby, who's continuing to be loyal to a man named QCP. Operating of QC, known as P, is a known snitch, working with law enforcement to get out of a legal case to continue to run his label QC. Gunna is very curious as to why Lil Baby is remaining loyal to him, but no longer Gunna, as Lil Baby unfollowed Gunna on all social media platforms, dissed him on multiple songs, cut ties with Gunna in every business venture, and went on his own way. However, he continues to hang out with QCP on a daily occurrence. But Gunna wouldn't stop here. He would then diss Lil Baby again, rapping the lyrics, "In the boy that's like your brother, no one speak on that, the city see it clearly, if I had to state a fact." Once again, Gunna calling out Lil Baby for claiming a man named G5 to be his brother. He is also a known snitch in an Atlanta court case. According to DJ Academics, after snitching in a case in Atlanta, G5 changed his street name, he laid low for a while and then started to pop back out. He was hanging out with Lil Baby, posting on IG. However, it wasn't until his next set of lyrics that just caused the biggest rap beef that we've ever seen. Gunna would rap the lyrics, "You still mess with a brother that done got your partner whacked, had all these guys talking, you only knew him cause of Slat." As even DJ Academics believe the partner that Gunna is referring to that got whacked is none other than Lil Marlo. He was best friends with Lil Baby, but sadly passed away. He was even signed to him as well. He was tied into a lot of street situations that made him a really wanted man. However, the people that did the crime towards Lil Marlo, Lil Baby is actually good friends with them to this day. This makes it very clear that everyone is snitching, everyone's friends with snitches in the streets, you just never know. However, industry experts revealed Gunna's plea deal had a long-term effect, as Gunna snitching happened 3 years ago, but we're now finally starting to see what's happening. The Atlanta police wrote, the head of the Georgia PD Council's gang unit says his office is preparing to defend a potential 4PF RICO in 2025, with the official paperwork name-dropping Lil Baby. But what's even scarier is, at the court hearing, the police would mention the evidence. An investigator would write, investigator is on the stand. We are listening to wiretap calls. Someone mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets on some people's heads. This means that Lil Baby placed money to have people dealt with, similar to Lil Durk's M for Hire.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying?
They ain't even like that, man. Them got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harm. Or
and who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
This would end up getting the attention of Snoop Dogg, who would tweet, "First Young Thug, now Lil Baby is being played by that Atlanta DA. Y'all Atlanta rappers be careful out there," as this news would then reveal an important update saying, in quote, "Lil Baby has been taken into county jail for the questioning on the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Police question why he closed Fort PF after the crime took place."
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of two 10-year-olds, and a $50,000 reward is being offered for more information. So far, 7 people have already been arrested.
Between the bullets, it was nothing but bullets, pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come buy my tacos up.
Where it was then announced, Lil Baby reveals that he ended his record label Fort PF to avoid it being labeled as a street team.
First 4 pockets full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because it's all shit that be going on. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first, you know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'll be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't. Right. Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police, it's just period, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
He did this because an official police report would read, "The Atlanta Police Department is calling out Lil Baby, saying his actions led to the passing of 2 young individuals." During a press conference on Wednesday, the Atlanta PD announced 7 arrests have been made in connection to the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Major Ralph stated the incidents were a part of a gang war that started with an incident at Lil Baby's music video last May, while strongly saying this team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable to Lil Baby.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
As the same Atlanta DA that made the plea deal agreement with Gunna and tried sentencing Young Thug to life in prison is using this to her advantage to try to get Lil Baby in prison. As Lil Baby was recording a music video on an ops block outside of a taco shop, as there would be a lady posting on her Facebook that Lil Baby is at her taco stand 3 cars deep recording a music video.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking it. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. You know how we do it, that slapping taco. Baby, there he go, Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up, cause you already know how he doing this slapping tacos, baby.
As according to the police, the ops weren't even aware that he was there. It was actually her Facebook video that got the attention to make them pull up with firearms and clear the scene. But what's scary is the feds are blaming Lil Baby because he has ties with Young Thug. It ties into why Lil Baby rushed the release of his album titled Wham. It would be announced Lil Baby's new Wham album was a rush release due to legal battles coming his way. Him closing Fort PF was the first sign to it, as the feds already warned the public about Lil Baby's involvement in Atlanta crimes.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months, you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There's going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
As even DJ Academics revealed, the trap the Atlanta DA Fannie Willis was placing on rappers. This would be confirmed just 1 week later, as it was then announced Lil Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit. He was sent to the Clark County Detention Center, being held on a $5,000 bail.
I need 20 bands, call the number for me. Hey, security, the black guy, call the number for me. Locking me up for a gun, but I got license. Security, I need 200 bands a year. I swear to God, security. Security, I need 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leaving at 9:10. Nah, check me good. I got to my nuts. Check me good. You on the camera? I got to my nuts. Check me good. I got to. All right, y'all let me that cross you. Myself dead. Y'all.
But it gets a lot deeper than this, as during the YSL trial, Academics revealed on stream, while showing the evidence file, that the name 4PF was on the same RICO document that YSL was on, coincidentally right after Gunna made his plea deal.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
As now in present day, with the YSL trial over, Academics revealed once again that Lil Baby's recent arrests seemed like a warning for a massive RICO charge coming his way.
I'm gonna tell you some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fannie Willis started targeting YSL, Fannie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were going to get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay, we got it. So the feds told him, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Dirk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Dirk eventually. Doing the math? You see why Lil Baby is moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county, state watch.
As it's important to keep note, Young Thug, Lil Baby, and Gunna have been together for the last 6 years before the snitching allegations. Whatever crime Young Thug was in, Lil Baby was there. Any crimes Lil Baby was in, Gunna was there, as coincidentally enough, only Young Thug and Lil Baby are being targeted with crimes. The evidence supporting this claim is only 1 month after Gunna snitched out, Lil Baby was randomly arrested for an illegal window tint.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you over? These windows, they tinted. You can't see nothing out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. They give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
Alright, they give me a ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now, who are you? You say you
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen? 827. You don't be want to have these. You gotta have tents in Atlanta. These folk crazy. I take a ticket, then somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get the 10.
In the footage, Lil Baby was only given a ticket and allowed to just drive off. However, what truly happened in the aftermath was scary. People that work in law enforcement believe that once Lil Baby was allowed to drive off and the officer went back into his patrol car, he would end up entering Lil Baby's license in to the database that he received a ticket. In doing so, his name was flagged, to which another nearby officer just further down the street then pulled Lil Baby over once again, arrested him, and brought him into the station for no reasoning, making Lil Baby flying out his lawyer on a private jet to get him bailed out that night. As with all of the recent arrests, Lil Baby feels like he's being targeted, likely by a former best friend, which is why when Young Thug was released from jail, he went right after Gunna. Young Thug tweeted, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats," with the name Wham referring to Lil Baby. Lil Baby was firm on dissing Gunna for snitching out of the YSL trial early, so Young Thug didn't want him to be alone. Lil Baby responded on Thug, "We should." Then the following day later, Thug would release another tweet, but also an Instagram video. He first tweeted, "Gunna, stop acting like we're friends on the internet. I don't know you," getting the attention of Gunna and his brother. Gunna would end up replying, "Trust and believe the feeling is mutual," to which Thug would link up with T.I., posting an Instagram story where he clearly says that he is home and that he did it the right way, sneak dissing Gunna.
Hey man, what you got to tell these people?
Back. Back, Jack.
You feel me?
You did.
Hey man, ain't no cap in it.
No cap in my right.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
It's time.
The right way, bro.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
And go tell that.
Letting Gunna know that he did it the right way out, T.I. even took his side. But there's a serious issue with the sneak dissing that he's doing with Gunna. As pointed out by DJ Academics, the feds would predict all of this even happening. This is why they even gave Thug the plea deal out. It would be announced. Academics speaks on Young Thug getting released. He says the stipulations are a setup for the court to put Young Thug back into jail, explaining that it's all a setup for Thug to eventually fail, go to prison then for 20 years, but also knowing Lil Baby is gonna be beefing with Gunna alongside Young Thug, to which the Atlanta DA would then get Lil Baby and Young Thug at the exact same time.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is activity. But he's always gonna talk about him and is doing his thing. They might consider that activity. He might be like, me, it's like, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the game. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.